Welcome to this week's TerraFlow. My name is Brad Keimach, and I teach at Exhale Center for Sacred Movement here in Venice, California. Have you ever considered a happiness practice, a contentment practice, or perhaps unthinkingly, might you wait for it to arrive to you, depending upon life's circumstances or the quality of that day? If you consider a happiness practice, consider teaching the mind how to think. Often, the mind will take us places that are not helpful, not kind, and frankly not happy. So our job as owners of that organ is to teach the mind how to think, how to stay positive, how to be present. There's been a story recently about research that's been done that shows that daydreaming does not increase happiness. Conversely, being present does. So if we agree on that philosophy, what is the practice? What is the place of that practice in a yoga practice? We can use the breath that's part of our yoga practice to teach the mind to stay present by focusing on the breath, every inhale, every exhale. It is an observatory presence. It is a wordless presence. So that when we focus the mind, if we're aware that there are words, thoughts going on, then we know that the mind is trying to pull us out of the present moment. It's best to stay in the present moment as part of this, or even as the cornerstone of this happiness practice. What we think is where we live. It's our responsibility to live in a good place. Being present is the foundation of that good place, of that quality of life. That way, whether we are on the mat on any given day or in any given hour, we still have a tool to live a happy life. It comes from within. The mind generally loves to be anywhere but here. If we help teach the mind to stay here, even though it resists, we have a chance at living better and better. In our yoga practice, that means focusing on the breath. The breath is very present. The breath helps us focus. The sound of ujjayi breathing is our indication that our mind is focused on the sound of the breath. So, to practice teaching the mind, we will take a safe and simple pose like Warrior Two and hold it as a tapas practice. Now this tapas practice is not to build strength to endure a very long hold, but instead an opportunity to hold the pose longer than we want to. And at some point, the mind will start to talk and say things like, it's time to come out of this pose. Your arms are killing you. Your legs are killing you. This isn't fun anymore. Something bad might happen. But in fact, the pose is only difficult. It's not dangerous. But the mind may give you a different message. The mind may want you to come out of that pose so bad, it will convince you that something bad will happen. It won't. That's an ideal time to help retrain the mind. So in this tapas practice, we will be holding Warrior Two long enough till that chatter emerges, and then our yoga practice truly begins. And that is the practice of peace, to quiet the mind, to calm the nervous system, to reassure ourselves all is well. We're just holding Warrior Two longer than we want to. Okay. So, we'll come into Warrior Two and begin this practice. So come into Warrior Two. Make it a comfortable Warrior Two. Now, each person's practice is different. Newer students or those with an injury might feel the chatter in the mind start at about 30 seconds. Older students might feel it at 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes. More isn't better. You just want to hold it long enough to notice that you don't want to be in the pose anymore, and the mind gets very talkative. The work then is to quiet the mind, to teach the mind how to think. It doesn't happen with one lesson. It's a 10-year project. Okay, 20 years. But by then, it'll be fantastic. So breathe in your practice and cultivate that ujjayi sound, which helps also calm the nervous system and keeps you present. Just stay present. It may help to keep the eyes steady on one spot as you breathe. Keep the mind focused and quiet the mind. Teach the mind how to think. You can try this mind practice with any and every pose. Make sure the pose is safe and stay in it a little longer than you want to, and practice teaching the mind how to stay focused, how to stay present on the breath. Thank you very much for joining us this week, and I look forward to seeing you in my class. Thanks.